Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about rogue drones. Did you know that a small drone can cause a big aircraft such as an Boeing to crash down? Now you may ask yourself, how can a small device like a drone cause a big aircraft to crash? My name is Mahmoud Tubaya and I am an aeronautical engineering student in Turkawa Kurumu University, and I will talk about the rogue drones today. My presentation will be divided into three main parts. The first one will be about the definitions about the rogue drones, or the drones in more general way, in order to understand first what is a rogue drone. And secondly, I will give you some regulations that the industry of aerospace is using to regulate the drones. And the last one, it should be some different ways that we are using to fight against the rogue drones. So without any more delaying, let's jump into the action. On the first hand, we will discuss about definition of a drone. In a more technological way or term, a drone is an unmanned aircraft, which means it can operate without having a human being on board of it. In aerospace industry, the drones are often called as UAVs or UAS. UAS means unmanned aircraft system. Basically, a drone is a small device that is having an amazing embedded system on board of it, which is allowing it to be controlled from a far distance and also to fly autonomously. So this technology, which was first used during the war in Italy, is now being a very important device in our daily life. Drones are very important. We are using drones in security. The army is also using drones as a weapon platform. We are using drones in many things such as agriculture or weather or rescue or searching. But on the other hand, we have the bad side of the drones. The drones can be used equally in the same manner in the bad way. So I will let you imagine how dangerous a drone can be when it's in the hand of a bad guy. In last January, one of the biggest airports in London was shut off because they spotted a drone in the airport. That causes many big companies to lose an enormous amount of money. Also, we are seeing drones including being used by the terrorists trying to kill or make some attacks. It was the case in Venezuela when some drones were attempting to approach the president and trying to kill him. But of course it was a failure. So these are only few examples of the dangerous facts about drones. Here there is a really big challenge for the regulators, because on one hand they are trying to promote the drones so that it can become a commercial benefit for them, and on the other side it's a very dangerous device because it can be used for a bad cause. So now we're gonna talk about the regulations, some of the regulations that the industry of aerospace is using to regulate the drones. First, I will talk about the regulations around the world in some countries like US or UK, and finally I will finish with Turkey. So let's start to talk about the regulations. As I said previously, the task of regulators is to encourage the good uses of the drones, but on the other side they have to fight against the rogue drones. So it's creating an contradictory impulse, since they have two contradictory ideas, which is the good side of a drone and the bad side of the drones. In my opinions, regulations or rules are very important in this field because for example, I will give you an example. I'm a regular guy which is trying to use a drone just for my personal uses, trying to take some photography or videography views. So I will of course try to respect the regulations or the rules, since I don't want to lose my drones. But if I am the bad guy, if I am a bad guy, I will not care about these rules. So I will just do whatever I want about the drones. And in most of the countries, having a drone or buying a drone is subjected to a registration process. When the weight of the drone is more than 250 gram, in some countries like UK or USA, you have to register the drones. For example, in Turkey, it's about 500 gram. If the weight of the drone is more than 500 gram, then you will have to register your drone. Some of the rules that are very important in the industry of the drones is that you shouldn't fly higher than 120 meter from the ground, and also you shouldn't fly next to the aircraft, or more precisely, you shouldn't go in the zone of the airport, to be more precise. So if you don't respect these rules, the government or the institution which is regulating these rules will take some actions against you, and you will pay lots of money for that. So as the last topic, we're gonna discuss about the methods we are using nowadays to fight against the rogue drones. Firstly, in order to fight drones, we have to detect it. So that's why most of the most important places are using radars, 3D radars even, to try to detect drones. Drone shields can detect drones about 1 kilometer away. And once we detect the drones, we have to take them down. And for that, we have several methods, several ways in order to accomplish those kind of tasks. The first one is the nets. We are using nets to take the drones down. The first one is the XCPO, which is basically a drone which is equipped with a net system on it. So it will track the other drones and throw its net to them and trying to take them to the ground. And on the other side, we are using signal frequencies hijacking. And on the other side, we have surprisingly the birds. Yes, of course, we are using the birds in this kind of field. We are using them and training them in order to help us take the drones down. In some countries like Canada, they were developing some researches in this field, but nowadays I don't know if they either they stop it or they are still continuing. So these are some few ways how to prevent the rogue drones to circulate in our air traffic. Finally, this is the end of this presentation, and I hope you learned something very interesting in this presentation. So just as a summarize, we talk about drones, what is a drone first, and then I gave you some examples of the bad effects of drones in our society. And then I tried to discuss about the regulations that the aerospace industry has set on point to regulate the drones, so that it can reduce its bad effects on our society. And as a third point and final, I discussed about some different ways how to fight against rogue drones. Drone is a very big industry nowadays, and it's projected to be very big again in coming few years. So in order to be very safe, so that the drones can be more beneficial than harmful, we have to think about how to regulate them, how to regulate the drones, and how which kind of methods we should use which are more efficient in order to take the drones down, but not only taking them down, but taking them down in a most security way in order to not harm the society or the population around it. So that was the end of the presentation. I hope you really like it. Thank you for taking your time and watching this video. See you.